Hey guys, it's Mel. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, today I'm about to embark on a task that I didn't really want to do today, but looking at the diary, I don't really have a choice. Today, I've just got to make it happen. So Tom has been needing a few more of these cages to be emptied for an incoming haul that he's got coming in. I need to empty 3 of them. Now I've put a pallet down here on the ground so I can stack some on, and it is backing up against a bookshelf that is full of unlisted inventory. All these books here are unlisted. So I don't want it obviously leaning on the shelf, but if I need to balance it a little bit, then I can do so. Now these are the 3 pallets that I want to get emptied. The other ones can stay there, but if I can empty these 3 for Tom, I think that will be enough. So I've got the sorting bench all nice and clear. I'll be able to make some big stacks and piles over there. And the good thing about what's in the cages is a lot of it is like fiction books here, so they're kind of all the same size and they'll be able to stack up fairly easily. I've already got 3 stacks over here. These are all books that I'd already pulled from the cages and they're all going to be waiting to list. But it's not ideal for me to fill up my packing bench. Obviously, I've already done my packing for today, but if I'm going to be working in this space, I'm just going to start leaving this space here to put all the books that I'll just immediately photograph, and then all the ones that I'm working on will go onto this bench and then over here onto the pallet. So I'm looking for books that are by the same author, and that way I can get 6 or 7 books together, and then I can bundle them together and sell them like as a value lot. So I'll be making, if I start seeing the same author, like I've already seen there's a lot of Danielle Steele, so I'll have separate piles there when I'm sorting through for Danielle Steele specifically. And if I find any other authors that are like that as well, they will get their own individual piles, and I'll just keep stacking them up, stacking them up. Now, the other thing of what I'm looking for is when you're selling low-end fiction, I don't want to be putting scrappy low-end fiction into my store, because I'm trying to almost get like the highest dollar I possibly can for a fiction book. I can't do that if the book is in like next to acceptable condition. And when I've got this many books as well, I don't want to be filling my store up with not only low-end items, but low-end, poor conditioned, acceptable items. No, that's not what I want. Now, this book, for an example for low-end fiction, this is got nice white pages and it's not tatty. There's no like turned up corners or anything. Like, this book is actually in pretty good condition. But this Danielle Steele book, have a look at the condition of this one. See all the yellowing? This is called like foxing, and it's like discoloration of the pages. And if you open it up, see in here, you can see the pages are also really yellow, and like there's no way that I'm going to get like a nice high priced for low-end fiction, as high as price as I can get for a low-end fiction when it's in that type of condition. Nobody wants to buy that. Like, this is run-of-the-mill saturated books that you can get anywhere else. No one's going to come and buy that from me when they can buy it from the 50 other sellers who are trying to sell it for in very good condition. So this kind of book, this automatically will go into my discard pile. And it's not that the book is not like worthy of reading, it's not for my store. So these are the type of books that I have to either try and rehome. But see, if I give this back to a charity shop, they will probably just discard this because they don't want this in their store either. They don't have enough room in their stores just to be stocking things that are in poor condition. It's like selling stained clothing, isn't it? They just get rid of it as well. So this isn't really even that great for me to redonate. So I can sometimes put together Facebook hauls of books that are in like poorer condition, where somebody still might want to read that book and not actually care about the discoloring. It's not like a mold or anything, but it's not pleasant to look at. Do you know what I mean? And like in terms of this Danielle Steele book, I don't want to sell Danielle Steele even really as an individual book. I want to lot her up. She is low-end fiction, and I want to try and sell her as a bundle rather than an individual book. So even though it's in really good condition, if I can get like 6 of them in really good condition like this and turn it into a value bundle, it will be purchased. Somebody will buy that. But unless somebody's really going for this particular book. And I just noticed this book is called Amazing Grace, which is a spin out because I just talked about a book, Amazing Grace, in my last packing video if you watched it. So wow, that's a sign from the universe. Okay, I'm gonna get sorting. Right, first thing is I'm just gonna remove this plastic, and that way I can just reach into it. Now the good thing about this cage is it's got the opening here. So once I kind of get down the front part, I can pull it down. I'm not bending over as much. This cage looks like it's actually on that side. This one doesn't even have like a door on it, so I've got to be careful there that they don't all fall out. But I'm going to work on this one first. First, start at the left and just keep going. So first up, I'm just going to bring them from here to here so I can just quickly then have a whole lot where I'm going pile, 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 pile. As I'm pulling these books over here, I'm automatically taking note of some of these authors that I'm pulling out. And I can automatically see here I've got multiple books here by Di Morrissey. So straight away, once I start sorting all these, I know that there's multiple of Di Morrissey, so I start making stacks, like next to the Danielle Steele, where it'll be all Di Morrissey. Okay, Di Morrissey, Di Morrissey. Now, also try and separate the hard covers from the soft covers. So I've got the piles of the ones that I don't want. They're straight up discards just due to the condition that I don't want them into my store. Then I need to have piles of the ones that are actually in good condition, but they're probably not authors that I directly know that I want to put straight into my store. Now this one is one for an example, Jennifer Weiner. Now I know that when I did my packing video the other day, because I mentally take note of what I'm packing, that I sold a 3-pack lot of Jennifer Weiner for only like $12. So I don't want to be storing a whole lot of Jennifer Weiner if she doesn't sell, if she takes a long time to sell. You can't even get 3 for $12. She's not somebody that I really want in my store. But if they're like the ones that are in good condition, those are the ones that I'll be either able to redonate or that I'll be able to move along on Facebook Marketplace much easier. The ones that are just totally yuck, like some of those just need discarding, like they need binning. And I try not to bin books when I can, but there's some books that just simply have to be binned. There's no other way of disposing them. People don't want them. The charity shops don't want them. I don't want them. Nobody wants them. Those kind of books, like even the crafters don't want those books. Now I've got a pile set aside for the ex-library. Most of the time the low-end ex-library books are going to have the stamps and cancel, like they're only going to be deemed acceptable condition. And unless it's like some kind of super special book or like a special fantasy book or something maybe, I'm not really going to want those low-end ex-library. Now I'm not saying ex-library is bad in general. I sell heaps and heaps of ex-library books, and sometimes ones that aren't in very good condition, especially if they're nice large print ones. But for this book, for example, Daniel Silver, now I can get him anywhere. He's just like a common author that I can buy in any thrift shop that I go into. Why would I put one of his into my store that's only in very acceptable condition when I've got plenty here that are in much better condition? So that's one that I'm going to put into the ex-library and will probably be discarded. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're working with low-end fiction like this, you have to be brutal. You can't put it all into your store. You just can't. Wilbur Smith, Kathy Reaches. Yuck. Now, what I'm noticing with the fiction books is there's probably more discards than books that I actually want to keep. And that's to be expected. Like the fiction are all low end, and many of them do come in poor condition. Like some of them you're like, why do people even donate these books? They're disgusting. But with the non-fiction cages, you can make a lot more money from non-fiction. You can find like books that are worth a lot of money and people just have no clue about the amount of money that they're worth. So you can make more money from the non-fiction. But I'm noticing when I'm sorting through the cages of nonfiction that the nonfiction cages are 100%, like I'm keeping the majority of the cages rather than discarding. But with the fiction, it's just most of it is going to go. When I bought these cages, I knew that there'd be at least probably half of the inventory in them that I wouldn't be able to keep. Like that's just how it goes. When you're buying cages like this, 100% you're going to get Morris West. I've got him over there. When you're buying big cages, you can't be thinking that you're going to buy these cages and get all high quality inventory. No, these are like discards that people don't want basically. So you can't be expecting that you're going to get every single book out of the cage is going to be a book that you want to sell. That's not how it works when you're in the book game. When I'm choosing these books, what I'm thinking as well to myself is, if I ordered this book online and paid $15 to $20 for it, would I be happy with that? Would I be happy with the condition of this book if I paid $15 or $20 with it, including the post? And that's something that you've got to be thinking of. Put yourself in the buyer's shoe. Do you want to buy a book that's all stained and disgusting? When you read a physical book, it's actually an experience, and you want to have it. You don't want to be opening it up and seeing these disgusting books. Right, now this pile of books is all authors that I've got on the shelf surrounding me, so I'm going to go put those. Got Wilbur Smith, Stephanie Lawrence and Jack Higgins. So I know where they all are except for Jack Higgins. Right, now this pile of books is going to make it into the straw. Okay, again, as I'm pulling out the Di Morrissey, there's a lot of Di Morrissey here. She's not really that great to sell. I've also got like the Wilbur Smith, the Jack Higgins, the Morris West, all those ones, ex-library, or I've got those ones just as I'm piling here, just to save me a little bit. If I can see it, I may as well pile it. Danielle Steele. Doing big hauls like this as well, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for a new reseller. You'd be absolutely crazy if you were a new reseller and you tried to embark on something like this. It's you'd be just out of your depth. You'd be out of your depth. But when you're doing big hauls like this, you have to make a very quick decision on whether or not you're going to keep things or not. You can't procrastinate on this kind of stuff. There's too much of it. You've got all your other work that's piling up. You've just simply got to be able to get through this as fast as possible. Right, any low-end fiction that's not even got a dust cover on it, I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay. Now, because the benches are getting quite full, I'm really looking at here. Is there anything on top that I can pull off that I know I've got piles for? Or so more Wilbur Smith, Danielle Smith down here. Di Morrissey, Wilbur Smith, Danielle Steele. Oh, I've got so much Wilbur Smith. Wilbur Smith for days. Where can I put him? Now, this book here is part of a series, and I've had quite a bit of success selling this series as a whole. So this one's not in very good condition, but I'm still going to set it aside as a maybe, because if I get all the rest of the other books in the series, then having like one or two books that's a bit more acceptable than the others can still pass it if it's selling for a value bundle. So even though that one as an individual book I would have discarded probably because of the condition of it, I will keep it for this fact now. Right, see, we've got another one, another two in the Ramsey series. This one's got a cute little metal bookmark in it. That's cute. I'll set that one aside. Yuck. Like yuck. Right, now the books that I'm just discarding, I don't want them taking up my packing bench. I'm going to pop them down here into some bags. I need to do a little bit more research on Wilbur Smith because I'm not familiar with if he's all standalone or if he's got like books on a series. There's just so many books up there, and I'd like to start making some bundles of some hardcovers so I can try and get some moving from the shelves. But I'm not sure if he's actually a series or not. You would think with that many books, there's got to be a few series, but I haven't sold him enough to know. Now, because I'm going to have a lot of discards from this particular cage, what we've got going on is up at Tom's warehouse, he's got kind of like this, they call them gaylords in America, and they're basically like a big, kind of like a cage, but they're made out of cardboard. They use them at the fruit shops to put all the watermelons and stuff in. In America, they refer to them as a gaylord, and he's got some of those up in his warehouse. So what he normally does is when I've got like my discards, we normally just come and fill up the ute, and I just take them up there and I add them into his gaylords. And then he's been listing the gaylords onto Facebook Marketplace for like free or for like $10. Come take as many books as you want. And that's how we've been trying to move them. These are the type of books that will go into those gaylords. I'm not actually sure why they're called a gaylord, and if you're not in the book business and you just hear somebody talking about a gaylord, it can sound like a bit rude. It's not like a rude derogative term. It's actually just the term that they use for these containers of books. But if you've never heard that term, I'm not saying a bad thing or anything. It's just that is the name. Oh, wow. Ugh. We've got 4 books exactly the same. They all look in pretty good condition, but oh, 4 the same. Oh, this Di Morrissey. There's so much of her, guys, because she's saturated and everybody gives her away, and she's very hard to sell. I'll try and sell her in lots because some of these books are in really nice conditions. So I'm going to give it my best shot, but Di Morrissey is the new Wilbur Smith. Oh. It's honestly disgusting what some people think is okay to donate. Like these are all books that have been donated, and it makes me feel sorry for what the people in the thrift shops have to sort through, because it's such a massive job, and it's hard to kind of discard it. Like, I hate discarding it. Like, but it's just gross. Like, it's just gross, some of it. Yes. Oh, gosh. Thank goodness. 1 more down and 15 more to go. going for Di Morrissey. Oh. Oh. Yeah. It's just disgusting, isn't it? Disgusting. Now this is cool. I've never seen one of these. Sweet Valley High used to be this size novel back in the 80s or the 90s. And there used to be teen romance. I've never seen one that is Sweet Valley Confidential. I can tell by looking at the cover. It's a newer book, 2011. It does have a tear in it here, but I'm still going to set it aside and look that up because I've just never seen one. I've never seen one. I didn't know they re-released it like that. I'm fading. I've done one cage. I've got to do another one. I can't fade yet. Right. Okay, now, John Marsden. I need to double check, but I think he just passed away. I need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that I did read that John Marsden had passed away. And if so, his book is probably more collectible now than it was. So definitely going to be setting that one aside to look at. I think I'll start another pile of Wilbur Smith because I just don't have room for him up there. Ugh, maybe. Now this cage, it's going to be a little bit different to sort. And for a lot of this cage, I think I'm just going to be getting onto pallets because I've just got so much waiting for me to photograph now. It's just, I need to get on top of the photography before I'm just doing too much. But there is a lot of kids' books in here. And the kids' books I am piling up and I am taking home. I've said that in the past. There's a massive amount of them. It's a lot of work involved in them. I do want to do the kids' books, but I just don't have the capacity in here at the moment to do them. And I know they're going to be a time-consuming thing, and there's other stuff that I want to get through before I do the kids' books. So the kids' books are not a priority for me at the moment. So this might be, I don't know how much of this palette is kids. I actually think the majority of this is going to be kids. Oh, how am I going to do this? Maybe I need some bags. I'm just trying to separate now like the little thin picture books like this. And I'll put them into a bag. And then if there's any that I can flip out and see that will discard straight away, like these are ex-library kids books, they'll be no good. Like see this one here? It's meant to have like a CD in it, so that's going to be no good. It's just the kids' books is just such a mammoth task because you've got to, just a mammoth task. And these will probably be the last things I do. Like once all the cages are done, that's when I'll start working on the kids' books. And it's kind of a shame that I didn't know which ones are the kids' books, but sometimes like you just don't know, and Tom's just dropping the pallets in here and like I can't, it's not easy for him just get the forklift out and move stuff. Like if he has to move like a heap of them around just to move one. And right. Now if I put the bags of books here like this, then each time I do a trip home, I can just take a couple of bags home with me. There's actually some beautiful kids' books here. Right, so at the moment, all I'm trying to do is separate the books. So I'm just putting all the children's fiction books here on the bench, and then all the younger kids, the picture books where they're just tiny and thin, I'm just packing them into the IKEA bags so I can deal with them separately because there's two different things to sort. So I may as well separate them here now rather than just piling them up into bags. I wish I could pull this side down, but I can't. I'll have to get the ladder soon and climb into it. Ugh. The most important thing for me to do at the moment is just to empty these cages so that, oh, it's just one less thing for me to worry about for Tom needing. Oh my goodness. I think if I was going to do these cages on a continual basis, I'd probably need to invest in some cages for myself, because I don't like having to have these on loan from Tom, especially when I know they're something that he uses on a regular basis. So obviously if I've got them, I can't just like keep the books in them for as long as I need to be sorting it out. So I think if I was to go, right, I'm going to do this on an ongoing basis, I really would have to look at another type of option of putting the books into, or buying myself some cages, and they could be very expensive. I don't know how much they cost, but I don't expect that they would be cheap, and I'd have to look for them secondhand. But it is something that I have to ponder, because I don't think it's practical. Like, it's okay to borrow these off Tom for the short term, but with the scale size of his business and him moving inventory around from warehouse to warehouse and stacking it up constantly, he needs these cages. Amazing Grace. What? That's the third Amazing Grace, like the third symbol I've had. Oh my goodness, what does that even mean? 3 times in the last couple of days I've had, maybe it's my granny, maybe she's sending me a message, I don't know. The thing with children's books is, though, quite often you can just bundle them up by like kind of like age groups. So you can make like a mixed bundle for 8-year-olds or 8 to 10-year-olds, or oh, look at this, Skippy. Skippy's the old kangaroo in Australia. Yeah, you can make up bundles for like 2 to 3-year-olds, 5 to 6-year-olds, 8 to 10-year-olds, 11 to 13-year-olds. So you can kind of do a sort of, because a lot of the kids' books is standalone, like it's not all series. So you can make up bundles that are targeted to specific age groups, but you just have to be kind of mindful that you are putting the right age groups. If that's how you're going to target it, you've got to be mindful of what you're putting into those bundles. The other problem with kids' books is they can be in not the best condition. You know what kids are like. They just throw it around, and sometimes they draw in them, and they've got pencil in them, and they've got pages ripped, and so you do have to really kind of look through the kids' books. It's not a quick task. And that's exactly why I said I wanted to do the kids' books very, very last. But I must say, even though it looks like this entire palette is going to be kids' books, which I didn't realise, I will say there's been a few of the other palettes and they've just had little bits of kids in them. So the kids' books, I don't know if they're just spread between the palettes. Like this one, obviously a majority, but the fact that I've already had kids' books in other palettes tells me that they're kind of spread around, which is hard. The thing with doing these cages that I find is I really need to have like everything, a lot of it at least, sorted before I can even start looking to like bundle it up. So for example, like all the cricket books. Cricket books don't generally sell that great on their own. So I need to find all the cricket books so I can then do the bundling. Lucky I'm tall. See, those two are a series, Wizards. So hopefully there's like more Wizards in here, and then you put them all together and you sell them as a lot. But it's just you've got to spend that time sorting. Oh, I can see some more John Marsden here. Oh, I was talking about before. I've seen quite a few books here from the Cherub series, which is quite a popular tween series, especially for the boys. Oh, I'm really trying to just reach where my belly will allow at the moment. I will definitely feel some relief once their cages are empty, but because it's just been like a weight kind of hanging over me that I knew that they had to be emptied for Tom. So just getting them done. See, this one's meant to have a little figure thing in it or something, and it's empty, so that one will get rid of. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, how do you say it? Septimus Heap, Angie Sage. Okay, this is a series of books. This is book 2. But if you get the series of this book, it's actually worth a lot of money. So there you go, have a look at it. It is, I can't remember how many's in the series, but I'll definitely set that one aside. These Sabrina the Teenage Witch, these are vintage books, and they can sometimes, if you can get a lot of them, they can sell for pretty good money. So hopefully there's some more Sabrina the Witches in here amongst it. Normally when you find one in something like this, you've got to find another one. This is a pretty good series. There's every single month, January to December, and then there's some additional ones that go after December as well. So this bundle, this one's in nice condition as well. This book set can actually sell for some good money. This is the Cherub series that I was talking about before by Robert Mushamore. At least once you've pulled them all out, you have to deal with them. That's the positive in the situation. But you really have to pull them out anyway to be able to literally be able to deal with them, because you just, like, you're not going to know if there's something that, like, especially with these type of books that really need bundling, you really need to know what you've got. And some of them are on the top and some of them are down the bottom, and you've got to be able to pull it all out and look at it. So thank goodness I've got this new packing station, because in the other warehouse it would have been literally impossible. Oh, this is cool. Vintage play school book, the useful book. That'll be one that I'll sell that individually. I'll just set it aside there, and then I'll go and put it over there on the waiting to photo pile. I'm sweating doing this. It's taking all my energy, guys, to climb in here like I'm a kid in the kids' book. Oh, that was awkward. I wonder if you can see that in the camera. I don't even know what you can see. Oh. This cage will be very profitable. Very, very profitable once it's all gone through. They wouldn't even be a cent. They wouldn't even be a cent in what they've cost me. So, and quite a lot of nice condition Enid Blyton books down here. They look brand new. Don't judge me how I get out of the cage. Oh, I need a drink. Oh, my guts are only just getting caught here. One more. Oh. Right. Oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Every time I get off this, I'm worried I'm going to stab my butt with it. Oh, so awkward. Please don't judge me. One more. One more. Oh, don't drop them. Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh, 2 cages emptied everywhere. I feel like this is a hard cage simply just because there's a lot of religion in there. I'm not as familiar with the religion books. Like, I know some of them, but like there's a whole lot of religious books that I've just got no idea about, and I just don't know the value of them. So they're hard for me to just go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And they're all in like good condition, these ones. It's the fiction books that get like really rough, like because people read them, throw them around, take them to the beach, take them to the pool, pull them out in their car, shove them in their handbags. But a lot of the like self-help books or the non-fiction books, a lot of them are in really good condition. Like there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just a matter of knowing whether or not they actually are going to be worth listing or not. So yeah, this one's a little bit hard for me, and I'd love to be able to empty it for Tom's sake, but I just can't. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to put it. Oh, cramp. Oh, cramp. I twisted wrong. Oh, cramp. Oh my goodness. Cramp. Oh. Oh. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Right, let me show you the aftermath of all that. We've got a whole lot of books here that are all waiting to list individually. I've got the pallet load down here of the kids' books, which isn't ideal, but at least they're not like scattered and falling, and the bags keep them all nice and neat. So that's not too bad. That's only like 1 or 2, that's probably only 2 trips home in my car. Now I've got 2 pallets totally emptied. Tom just called me, and while I was chatting to him on the phone, I was sorting and just making a couple of more piles here. But yeah, I really don't know this this genre very well, the ones about the religion. There's a lot of Bible books here, so I'm not sure if I'll lot some of those up, or I really don't know. I have to think about those. But Tom did just say that 2 pallets would, 2 crates would be enough for his haul. So thankfully I don't have to pull all these out everywhere, because I was thinking, where am I going to put these books? Okay, so the sorting benches are full. Look how many of these kids books here. I've got all the Di Morris's here that I need to look at bundling, seeing if there's a few double ups and stuff in there. And yeah, here guys, look at all these books. Absolutely crazy. Right, well, that was a day, and oh my goodness, look at my sweat. Okay, so the aim of the day was to empty a couple of cages. Mission accomplished, I emptied a couple of cages. Am I feeling great about what I've been left with? No, I'm not. I'm feeling overwhelmed with stuff everywhere all over the ground again. I dream of the day where I've just got a beautiful, spotless, clean warehouse, and maybe that will just never happen as my life as a bookseller. Maybe it'll never happen. I'm not feeling great that I have to double handle all the kids' books and take them back, but I don't want to deal with the kids' books until the very end. Like, they are the last pallet. As soon as they're all done, it'll be the kids' books, and some of them I'll be able to sort at home. Some of them I'll be able to bring in here. Some of these books I'm going to do a cull tomorrow, and just kind of cull through the ones that are just like damaged or ex-library and not in the condition that I want to add or sell. So before I will take the picture books home, just take them home. I'm not doing a cull of the picture books. You know, there's thousands of them. I'm not. I got too much in here to do, too much photography. I'm behind on my listings. But these ones, yeah, I'll definitely give them a bit of a cull before I take some bags of those home. Right, so next plan of attack for me in the warehouse is a lot of photos. My photo station is full over there. Obviously, I've got all these books on the packing station that I just put up ready that I can go and photograph and list as well. But I need to get some of the photo stuff cleared, because like, it's just the whole point of the sorting table is to sort things and then move it over to the photography station so I can get it photoed. The photo station's full, the sorting station's full, the floor is full, everything is full. My life is full, guys. But I've got the 2 cages emptied. There's no real time hurry now from Tom about more cages done. Like, thank goodness. Ideally, he would like me to keep emptying 1 a week, which is probably fair to ask, because there's still like another 15 cages, and doing 1 a week is literally that's 4 months to keep going on them. So I think it's just going to feel never ending. So anyway, I'll just keep doing my best, keep working my way through it. But yeah, this week coming, I think I'm going to have to get quite a lot of photography done. If I can just do like a couple of hours every single day, it just won't build up like that. But this week has been a little bit chaotic. I've had things on, my son's birthday, I've been back and forth, and I don't feel like I've had like the long chunk time of working in the warehouse this last week. So next week though, that is the plan. Plenty of time next week. Get here early in the morning and work here late if I need to. Guys, thank you for watching me sweat today. Let's call this Sweating with Mel. See you in the next one. Bye.